Welcome to a new episode of the podcast. Vox Agent is made by AI for business executives that work with AI. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're plunging into a topic that's, well, it's not just buzzworthy, it's genuinely transformative, the fascinating world of AI agents. We're going to explore how they're rapidly reshaping the modern workforce. We've gathered quite a stack of insights from recent reports, case studies, predictions, lots to unpack.
That's right. And our mission today really is to get to the core question: how do we as organizations, as individuals, truly harness the power of these AI agents? And critically, not just to automate tasks away, but to fundamentally augment human potential and unlock, completely new levels of value. It's a really important distinction.
Amplification, not just replacement. I like that. And here's a surprising thing we found early on, something that really sets the stage. Almost all companies say they're investing in AI, right? But only about 1% feel they're truly AI mature, with deep integration, just 1%. Yet, get this, an astounding 75% of global knowledge workers were using AI at work in 2024. And that usage actually doubled in just 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah. So what does that tell us? There's this huge bottom-up adoption happening. Employees are just using it, and executives are, frankly, still playing catch-up. It's a fascinating dynamic, isn't it?
It absolutely is a real groundswell. So maybe let's start by defining what we actually mean by AI agents in this enterprise context. Because these aren't just your simple chatbots of a few years ago. We're talking about autonomous AI-driven software entities. They can perceive information, they can make decisions, and importantly, they can take actions to achieve specific goals, often with pretty minimal human intervention. They use advanced AI like large language models to handle complex multi-step tasks. You can almost think of them as digital team members.
Digital labor, perhaps.
Exactly. Digital labor performing work that used to require human intelligence. Think of a virtual customer service rep not just answering a question, but resolving the whole issue. Or an analytical assistant sifting through mountains of data for recommendations.
And you mentioned something key earlier, agency. What's the big deal about agency for an executive? How is that different from the automation tools they already know?
That's a great question. The core difference is adaptability. Traditional automation, it follows rigid, predefined rules. Step A, then step B. An AI agent with agency, though, can adapt to changing inputs, changing context. It learns, it adjusts.
So it's not just repeating the same task?
Precisely. It's like the evolution from, early industrial robots doing one thing over and over to today's cognitive automation. Now, these agents can understand language, they can read documents, make pretty sophisticated decisions in areas like customer support, drafting reports, analyzing market trends.
And the potential scale is just massive, right? I saw Salesforce CEO Mark Benioff estimates the market for this digital labor could hit trillions of dollars.
Trillions. It gives you a sense of how fundamental this shift is.
It really does. McKinsey even compares AI's potential impact to the steam engine or the internet. That's huge. It suggests that if you're not proactively integrating AI, you risk falling seriously behind. It's about creating those leapfrog games in productivity and innovation.
Absolutely. You can't afford not to engage. But achieving this requires a solid blueprint. It's not just about grabbing the fanciest AI model. A lot of executives focus on the AI model itself, the brain. But our research suggests success really hinges more on the plumbing.
The plumbing.
Yeah, how seamlessly that agent is wired into your existing company data and tools. Think of it less like a standalone brain, more like a nervous system connecting everything. This starts with perception and data integration. The agent needs to tap into real-time data from your enterprise systems, databases, APIs. An IT support agent, for example, needs access to knowledge bases, ticketing systems, right?
Makes sense.
And tools like RPA, robotic process automation, can actually help bridge the gap to older legacy systems where modern APIs might not exist. So you can connect even there.
Okay, so they can see the information, then they need to act on it.
Exactly. They need hands and feet. That's the tool use and action interface. They need to be able to update records, send emails, trigger transactions. Microsoft's Copilot framework is a good example here, letting AI agents interact with software interfaces almost like a person would.
And you probably don't want them fully autonomous right away.
Generally, no. It's often best to start semi-autonomously. The agent suggests an action, a human confirms it. Then, as you build trust and refine the process for specific tasks, you can move towards more autonomy.
And that human interaction piece, the human interface, UI UX, seems absolutely critical for adoption. It needs to be easy, right? Intuitive, maybe conversational interfaces like chatbots or embedding the agent right into the software people already use, like a CRM sidebar.
Precisely. And a key part of that interface is transparency. showing where the information came from or the agent's confidence level. That builds trust.
Which is probably how Alibaba saw that 25% jump in customer satisfaction you mentioned earlier. People trusted the interaction.
Building on that trust, the underlying data infrastructure and pipeline is foundational. Garbage in, garbage out still applies. You need quality data, good cleaning processes, real-time flow. This often means investing in MLOps, machine learning operations for reliable deployment, monitoring, and updating.
And you absolutely cannot forget security, compliance, and governance. That sounds like a minefield.
It can be, if not planned properly.
Yeah.
Agents need clear permissions, governed data access, think GDPR, and solid audit trails. What did the agent do, when, and based on what information? And having a kill switch, a way to immediately override or shut down an agent, is a vital safety net.
Right, a safety net. And what happens when you have lots of these agents? Dozens, maybe hundreds.
Then orchestration and scalability become key. You need a central hub to manage this fleet of agents, monitor their performance, update them efficiently. Gartner actually predicts that by 2028, a lot of enterprise apps will just have agentic AI built in. So planning for interoperability between them is crucial.
So many moving parts, but underlying all this tech, there's a core principle you mentioned, human at the helm. Why is that so fundamental?
Because human judgment, creativity, empathy, these remain crucial, especially for complex or nuanced situations. Human at the helm, or human in the loop, means defining clear boundaries for AI autonomy. It means having processes for escalating tricky cases to humans and mechanisms for people to override or correct the AI.
Like the recruiting example, AI screens candidates, but a human makes the final hiring decision.
Exactly. That ensures fairness, considers factors AI might miss, and importantly, that human feedback helps the AI learn and improve. It's a virtuous cycle. It's about collaboration, not just handing things over completely.
And the final piece, often overlooked but maybe the hardest, communication and culture.
Absolutely. Success isn't just tech, it's people and process. Teams need training on how to work with AI agents effectively. Organizations might need to redesign workflows, even redefine team structures to include these virtual team members. It's a significant cultural shift.
So what does this all mean for you and your business? Okay, let's get into the payoff. Here's where it gets really interesting. The value proposition. This isn't just incremental stuff, is it?
Not at all. We're seeing major benefits. First, just massive increased efficiency and productivity. Automating those high-volume, repetitive tasks frees people up and speeds things up considerably. We saw data points like a large retailer cutting software dev cycles by up to 60%, errors down 50%. Think about that impact.
60%?
Yeah, or Alibaba's chatbots handling 70–80% of inquiries, saving over $150 million a year, plus faster responses. And AI scales instantly, work 20/47, doesn't need coffee breaks.
Right, and that efficiency translates directly into cost savings and operational cost reduction.
Directly. Those chatbots deflecting 20–30% of support calls. That's millions saved for big call centers. IBM's internal HR agent, Ask HR, reportedly cut their HR service delivery costs by 50–60%.
50 to 60% cost reduction in HR service, that's huge.
It is. And in finance, AI agents reduce outsourcing, catch costly errors. Some banks see ROI in under 2 years. It's substantial.
Okay, efficiency cost.
What else? Improved decision-making and analytics. AI agents can process vastly more data much faster than humans, finding patterns, leading to better decision support, or even automated decisions within defined parameters. For example, in retail, agents recommending stock levels based on real-time sales, weather, local events, or a bank's AI reducing loan defaults by spotting subtle risk factors. Better data, better decisions.
And this doesn't just impact the bottom line, it impacts people too, right? Enhanced customer and employee experience.
Definitely. For customers, it's instant answers, 24/47 availability. That drives satisfaction up like Alibaba's 25% CSAT rise. And for employees, think about IBM's Ask HR again. It resolves millions of routine queries quickly. That reduces frustration, frees people from tedious tasks, lets them focus on more engaging work, less drudge work.
Making work better, not just faster. I like that.
Then there's agility and scalability. AI lets companies pivot or scale up operations incredibly quickly. Remember during COVID, some banks spun up AI agents almost overnight to handle the massive surge in loan relief applications. Imagine trying to hire and train people that fast.
Impossible. And that scalability vision, Salesforce's CEO talking about 1 billion AI agents by 2026. That points to a future where digital labor is just normal.
It becomes a core part of capacity. And finally, don't underestimate quality and consistency. AI agents apply rules consistently, reducing errors in data entry, underwriting compliance checks. An auditing firm found AI caught expense policy violations humans regularly missed.
So better quality, more consistency. Summing it up, we're talking potentially 50–60% cost savings in areas like HR, 50% plus productivity boosts in dev or tax prep, 25% jumps in customer satisfaction. These aren't small tweaks.
Not at all. And these benefits often compound, creating headroom for real growth.
Okay, let's unpack this a bit more. Where are AI agents actually making an impact right now? Let's get concrete. It's amazing how fast this is moving from theory to practice. Finance and accounting, for example. That seems like a core area.
It really is. In finance and accounting, AI bots are handling things like accounts payable, accounts receivable, reading invoices automatically, flagging problems. Auditing firms like EY use agents to scan huge transaction data sets for anomalies, work humans couldn't possibly do at that scale or speed. And remember, JP Morgan's Coin, saving hundreds of thousands of lawyer hours reviewing legal documents. AI is also generating financial reports much faster, days instead of weeks.
That's transformative for those functions. And outside finance, customer service seems huge.
Absolutely. Customer service and support is probably one of the most mature areas. Alibaba handling 2 million sessions a day, 75% of online inquiries. Verizon deflecting 43% of support tickets with their chatbot. Bank of America's Erica. Capital One's Eno. Lots of examples.
What about internal support, like IT?
Yes, IT and technical support. Agents handling password resets, VPN issues, basic troubleshooting. TELUS International's bot saves their IT desk about 50 hours a month just on password resets alone. IBM also has a big internal tech support assistant. And in DevOps, AI agents monitor logs, spot issues, even proactively fix things.
Okay, HR is another one you mentioned.
Right, human resources and talent management. AI assistant screening candidates, scheduling interviews. Hilton and Unilever use these. IBM's Ask HR automates around 80 common HR processes, handling millions of interactions.
80 common processes, wow.
Plus, AI is being used for coaching, analyzing HR data to predict attrition.
Yeah.
It's becoming quite integrated.
And finally, software development.
Huge impact there. Software development and IT operations. AI coding assistants like GitHub Copilot are making developers something like 55% faster. Writing better code, quicker. AI DevOps agents monitoring system health, automating fixes, generating test cases. It speeds up the whole development lifecycle and improves reliability.
And looking even further ahead, things like personal AI assistants for every employee, AI agents negotiating for customers, multiple agents collaborating. It feels like we're just scratching the surface.
We really are. And this widespread potential is driving a huge market landscape of platforms and tools. You've got the big tech giant ecosystems, Microsoft with Copilot, Salesforce with Einstein Copilot, SAP, Oracle, Workday embedding AI right into their core products. That's often the first place companies look.
Makes sense. Use what you have.
Then you have specialized AI agent platforms, companies like Core.ai, Amelia, LivePerson offering dedicated platforms, sometimes with deep expertise in specific areas like customer service or IT automation. And even the traditional RPA companies like UiPath or Automation Anywhere are heavily integrating AI now.
But there's a catch, right? Gartner warned about agent washing.
That's a really important point. Yes, agent washing, where vendors slap an AI agent label on what's basically just an old chatbot or simple automation without the real autonomy or learning capabilities. Gartner estimated that as of 2025, maybe only around 130 vendors truly offered genuine agentic AI, out of thousands claiming it. So you really have to, look under the hood, ask tough questions.
Due diligence is key.
Absolutely. And beyond off-the-shelf platforms, many large companies are doing in-house development or working with consulting firms, the Big Four, and others who often have their own frameworks to help build and implement custom solutions.
And where are most companies right now on this journey?
The reality is most are still experimenters, trying things out. Some are becoming tactical integrators, getting solid results in specific departments. But very few, maybe just a few percent, are truly strategic augmenters, with AI deeply woven into their strategy and operations.
But the pressure is on. You mentioned 90% of businesses see this as a source of competitive advantage. The investments are skyrocketing.
The competition is fierce. So for executives trying to navigate this crowded, maybe confusing landscape, what's the crucial advice?
Yeah, how do you cut through the noise?
First, definitely check the software you already pay for. Your existing vendors might have embedded AI features that meet a good chunk of your needs. Start there. Second, if that's not enough, then look at specialist solutions for specific high-value problems. Third, whatever you choose, make sure it integrates well. APIs, connectors, it has to talk to your other systems. That's non-negotiable.
The plumbing again.
Exactly. Fourth, Evaluate the enterprise capabilities, security, compliance, analytics, manageability, alongside the cool AI features. Don't get dazzled by demos. And finally, maybe try to choose platforms that are model flexible, meaning you can swap in newer, better AI models later without ripping everything out. Future-proofing is smart here.
Okay, so that's the potential, the market. But it's not all smooth sailing, is it? Let's talk hurdles. What does this all mean when things don't go perfectly? Like any powerful tech, there are challenges.
Oh, absolutely. The hurdles are significant, and executives need to be clear-eyed about them. First, there are still technical limitations. AI agents are great at defined tasks, but they can really struggle with highly contextual, ambiguous, or completely novel situations. They lack true common sense, emotional intelligence.
And the hallucination problem.
That's a major one. AI generating answers that sound plausible, even confident, but are just wrong or made up. The infamous example of ChatGPT inventing fake legal cases. That really highlights the need for human validation, especially for critical tasks. You can't just blindly trust the output.
So the AI isn't perfect. What about just getting it implemented?
Big challenge there, too. Implementation challenges around integration and change management are huge. Integrating with messy, fragmented legacy systems, that's complex and costly. And there's a significant internal skills gap. Over half of leaders say they lack the needed AI talent.
And getting people to actually use it and change how they work.
That's the change management piece, and it's often the hardest part. You have to redesign processes, clarify roles, and what does the human do now? What does the AI do? User proficiency issues are a major barrier, Gartner found, accounting for like 38% of difficulties. Just inertia, resistance to change. It's tough.
And then there's the really sensitive topic, workforce adaptation and job impact.
Extremely sensitive. Employees naturally worry about job displacement. That poll finding 53% of AI users worry about appearing replaceable, that's real anxiety.
There's also a risk of burnout, right? If AI takes all the easy routine stuff.
Exactly. Does that leave humans only with the most complex, stressful, demanding tasks? That needs careful management and job redesign. It's not just about cutting heads, it's about reshaping roles.
And the ethical side, bias.
Critical, ethical, and regulatory concerns. AI systems learn from data, and if that data reflects historical biases, the AI can perpetuate or even amplify them. The cautionary tale of Amazon's recruiting tool discriminating against female candidates is a stark reminder.
And regulators are stepping in?
They are. The EU AI Act, for example, classifies things like HR hiring tools as high risk, imposing strict compliance requirements. So you absolutely need bias audits, diverse training data, clear ethical guidelines, and probably limits on using AI for really high-stakes decisions without strong human oversight.
Fundamentally, it sounds like the garbage in, garbage out principle is more important than ever.
It really is. The agent is only as good as its data, its training, its programming, its integration, the whole chain.
And Gartner's warning, over 40% of agentic AI projects potentially being canceled by 2027 due to costs, unclear value, or risk. That's sobering.
It is. And the Klarna anecdote, where their AI chatbot handled lots of queries, but the quality wasn't quite up to human standards, initially shows there's still a gap sometimes. You need realistic expectations.
Okay, so given all this potential, but also these very real challenges, what does this mean for executives? This feels like more than just another IT project.
Oh, much more. For executives, this is a strategic inflection point. It's a business transformation lever. It's a source of competitive advantage. Remember that 90% figure. McKinsey's warning is stark. Leaders need to advance boldly today to avoid becoming uncompetitive tomorrow. This isn't optional anymore.
And it impacts everyone in the C-suite, right?
Absolutely. The CIO-CTO needs to champion innovation, but also manage the risks, build the infrastructure, ensure the right skills are in place. The CHRO has a huge active role to play in talent strategy, managing workforce shifts, redesigning jobs, driving retraining. And frankly, only 21% of HR leaders are deeply involved. Now that number has to go up. HR needs to frame AI as an empowerment tool for employees.
What about the CFO?
The CFO is key for focusing on ROI, tracking cost savings, enabling growth, and budgeting realistically for AI initiatives, including ongoing costs.
Yeah.
They need the right KPIs. And business unit leaders, COs, they're on the ground, driving the operational improvements, ensuring quality doesn't slip, and managing the day-to-day change with the teams. It takes the whole leadership team.
Okay, so it's strategic. What are the concrete, actionable steps leaders should be taking right now?
All right, let's break it down. First, conduct an AI opportunity assessment. Systematically identify where AI augmentation could have the biggest impact in your specific business. Don't just chase shiny objects.
Find the real pain points or opportunities.
Exactly. Second, develop a roadmap and business case. Prioritize those opportunities, project the costs, estimate the benefits, be realistic, get buy-in from stakeholders. This needs clear sponsorship.
Third, and we keep coming back to this, invest in data readiness. Address data quality issues, fix data silos, update your governance policies for an AI world. You can't build on shaky foundations.
Fourth, establish governance and ethics frameworks. Maybe set up an AI governance council. Develop clear guidelines on acceptable use, bias mitigation, transparency. Plan for that human-in-the-loop oversight from the start.
Fifth, the people side. Invest in change management and training. Roll out AI literacy programs for everyone. Offer targeted skills training for specific roles. Find internal champions. Involve employees in co-creating the new workflows. Don't just impose it.
Sixth, always align AI initiatives with business value. Focus on measurable ROI, whether it's cost savings, revenue growth, customer sat, employee retention. Track it and communicate successes.
Seventh, plan for workforce transition proactively. Think about how teams need to be restructured, what new roles are needed, how will existing roles evolve. Communicate this openly and often.
Eighth, foster collaborative culture between humans and AI. Encourage people to see AI not as a threat, but as a partner, a tool. That AI plus HI, best results mantra can help.
Ninth, adopt a phased implementation approach. Don't try to boil the ocean. Start small, maybe with AI and recommendation or assist mode. Build confidence, learn, then gradually increase autonomy where it makes sense.
10th, pilot, learn, expand. Run pilots, carefully measure the results, refine your approach based on what you learn, then scale up successful use cases. Monitor ongoing and iterate. This isn't a one-and-done project. The technology is evolving constantly. Regulations will change. You need a process for continuous improvement, monitoring performance, and adapting your strategy. It's a journey.
That's a really comprehensive roadmap. Okay, looking ahead. Let's gaze into the crystal ball for the next, say, 5 years. Where is this all heading?
Well, the pace of change is just incredible. We can expect rapid advancement in AI capabilities. Agents will become more autonomous, handle more complex multi-step goals with less human input. We might see AI agents acting almost like, capable junior managers, drafting plans, coordinating tasks, flagging issues proactively. Gartner sees a shift from just augmenting workflows to actually automating them within guardrails.
And the idea of a personal AI assistant for everyone.
That seems highly likely. Personalized AI assistants for every employee. Imagine an AI co-pilot embedded in your email, your documents, your spreadsheets, your chat tools, constantly helping you draft, summarize, brainstorm, analyze. The bionic employee, human plus AI, will likely become the norm. Companies might even start thinking about AI agents in terms of FTE equivalents for capacity planning.
Which logically leads to the emergence of new job categories.
Absolutely. We'll see growing demand for roles like AI trainers, AI ethicists, prompt engineers, people who manage and maintain these AI systems, AI workflow designers who figure out how humans and AI best work together.
LinkedIn already sees hiring managers screening for AI skills. Chief AI officer roles will probably become more common too.
And we'll see the closing of the AI agency gap. AI will become much more proactive. Instead of waiting for you to ask, it might identify a potential supply chain issue or a sales opportunity and actually draft a proposed solution for your review, moving from reactive assistant to proactive colleague.
Which means wider and deeper adoption across industries. It won't just be the tech giants.
No, large enterprises will build increasingly complex multi-agent systems aiming to be AI first. But importantly, SMEs, small and medium businesses, will also get easy access via cloud platforms. They could potentially achieve productivity levels previously only possible for huge corporations.
And customer service.
Likely to be heavily AI augmented across the board. Customers will probably expect to interact with an AI first for many routine inquiries.
And what about the underlying tech innovations?
Expect ongoing generative AI advancements. Models getting better, more reliable, less prone to hallucination, leading to things like AI co-designing products or even generating software dynamically. We'll also likely see more multi-agent collaboration. Think swarms of specialized AI agents working together on complex tasks, with humans managing the overall AI team.
And connecting AI to the physical world.
Yes, physical automation and robotics. Tighter integration between AI software and physical robots, cobots working alongside humans in warehouses, factories, maybe even hospitals.
So, wrapping this future view up, there are huge potential disruptions and future applications. Job markets will restructure, roles will be redefined, continuous learning becomes essential for everyone.
We'll need new ways to handle things like appealing an AI's decision. Society will need to adapt, ensure the benefits are shared equitably. AI might even start advising the C-suite directly on strategy, running complex market simulations.
It could fundamentally shift global workforce economics too. But amidst all this change, what remains uniquely human?
That's the critical question. As AI handles more analysis and routine work, the premium will be on uniquely human skills. Leadership, creativity, strategic thinking, complex problem framing, empathy, building relationships, ethical judgment, things AI can't replicate.
So it's a future of collaboration playing to both strengths.
Exactly. It's crucial to keep that balanced perspective. AI agents will dramatically change work, yes, but human insight, strategic vision, creativity, moral judgment, these remain irreplaceable. The most successful organizations will be the ones that design systems where AI augments these human strengths, not just replaces tasks.
A powerful closing thought. So, as AI takes on more of the analytical and routine tasks, the question for you listening is, how will you redefine your own superpower in this new era? How will you focus on those uniquely human skills that AI cannot replicate? And perhaps more importantly, how will your organization foster a culture where human potential is not just preserved, but profoundly amplified by AI? Thank you for joining the podcast, and see you soon.